Welcome to a Turkey Day edition of Armchair Analysts podcast. We're switching things up a bit. We've been looking through our records and checking old episodes, and it feels like we haven't brought the exuberance and excitement that we had in weeks past. So we're doing a little change of pace here. Nothing against Ace. He's fantastic in everything that he does, but I felt personally I needed to bring the oomph. So as mentioned before, I am Johnny. That's Ace. We're doing a little impromptu show just before the holiday. A little abbreviated show. Still good, though, right? Still worth listening to.
Oh, absolutely. Content is going to be supreme.
Yeah, we're gonna be nice and sweet. We'll recall the horrible weekend that was Wisconsin Minnesota sports. But I digress. All right, episode 43. Exciting stuff. You've done a good job. No one's died. I know, I look like I'm dying, but no, I'm actually in perfect health. So,
Stop.
Yeah, so let's do a quick rundown of what we got going on today. So, Random Rant, we're gonna do a joint operation. Ace already at his childhood home with his familia, ready to explore the festivities of this weekend.
I didn't think you were gonna go there.
Oh yeah, that's little Ace's bedroom right there. Another reason to check out YouTube. But regional Random Rant, we're just gonna talk about what we're thankful for. I don't know why you're wearing a race shirt.
Hence why I had to pull out my swag. Any sort of apparel, right?
We'll do a quick regional roundup. Soundbite of the week. Ace has chopped up a nice little Patricia segment for us. Tee off topic. We're gonna talk about a little bit about coaching decisions and who be on the hot seat. And then we'll wrap up with Ace's quick six, which he is frantically typing right now, trying to get prepared. So we have the highest of standards for the young man, and we don't want to hold back. So and also we really appreciate all the action we've gotten on Twitter. A lot of good feedback. Really nice just to hear from everybody what you like to hear, what you don't like to hear. You can check us out at AA Podcast. And again, wherever you find your favorite podcast, check us out. Tell a friend. Tell your grandparent. You're with your family right now. Perfect time. Hey, here's this podcast, by the way.
I keep bugging them about it, and you'd think it'd be easy to just click on a link in YouTube, but you try to share with who you can.
Yeah, we always appreciate it, giving us a chance to do what we love, share about sports. And as we mentioned, the last 9 episodes, even a couple bonuses we've thrown up on YouTube. So feel free to check that out. Always a good time. But without further ado, let's think about this season, the holiday season beginning. You're in your childhood home. I'm in this guest bedroom, which, again, that guest bed there, that red stuff, we're going to change that. We're getting new comforters coming in, so it looks more appropriate to go with all the Packer Brewer stuff. But thankful. Ace, what do you got for me?
What am I thankful for to start? Couple things. First off, I think for the most part, all the family's healthy, which is first and foremost the key, not to get too sentimental here. And secondly, honestly, it sounds cliche, but I'm glad we started this. It's kind of a unique experience and weird in a sense that
weird.
We didn't know when we were going to start to roll out video, but the steps we've taken are incremental. And no, it's not like boom, we've got something up, but we're putting things in the works, and it's honestly helped kind of ease the burden of being stuck at home over this last handful of months, 9+ months.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, I actually, I'll throw that in with mine actually, and piggyback on that, just because it's I mean, we started a podcast about sports, and then sports wasn't a thing. No, in all sincerity though, it's been nice. We started, we didn't really know a whole lot, and all of a sudden, you've got your fancy mic, I got my fancy mic. We're doing video, we're learning a lot more about content creation, stuff like that, and just being able to interact with people, and it's a lot of fun, hosting and being on other podcasts, and that's fun in itself. But the creme de la creme, the best part is that I was able to reconnect with my college roommate, and he actually is in my bridal party now too. So, touchy, mushy. I know. The only other thing that I want to say,
which is your second part, right? The second point was that you got engaged, right? That was the other.
Well, that was like a smaller part of my other part of my thankfulness is that it's been a rough year for a lot of people. Let's be honest, right? I mean, it's a lot of people aren't doing so well, still aren't doing so well, and the holidays can be difficult when you're separated from your family. So I'm very thankful that I at least got to see my family recently, even if though I won't be able to get together with them specifically on the holidays. But 2020 hasn't been a bad year. Got a nice, beautiful new car. Still have a roof over my head. Still have heat. Got engaged. Got a new job that I absolutely love. So I'm very, very blessed and very thankful for all that. When I know that it's not so great for some people right now. So. Yes.
Amen to that too.
It's always nice just to take a second just to take inventory of what's going on and get a little perspective. But all right, now that we got the fun, happy stuff out of the way, now we got to get down to the awful weekend that transpired. I'm gonna let you start with your stuff because yours isn't as bad as mine. So feel free, Ace.
I'll start on a positive. Minnesota United Soccer beat Colorado Rapids 3-0 in the opening round of our playoffs, or I should say the MLS playoffs, kind of getting back to the regular format this year instead of the 3-game tournament they did last would it be spring at this point? Yeah, spring. So I got to figure, I believe we play Kansas City next. It's either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see.
The diehard soccer fans are just screaming at you. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my, yeah, no shit. Tweet me, right? No, but the big news is obviously that the Gophers very much squeaked out a win against Purdue. And when I say that, we got away with an offensive pass interference call by Purdue at the end of the game that resulted in an O call, and we won. So again, we're barely just beating teams, or we're getting shredded. So not a good sign for the Gophers, and we'll have more news for that coming up. I'll get into the Vikings, and then we'll bring up more of the Badger Vikes game after Johnny. Badger Gophers game after Johnny talks about his Packers.
Man, so I actually spent the weekend with my best man in the wedding, and we had a glorious time. Unfortunately, it was completely dampened by the fact that both the Badgers and the Packers, in back-to-back days, just incredibly disappointing. The Northwestern and Wisconsin game was really... And the thing is, I don't even know if I said this on the show, but anyone who talks Badger football with me, first thing I'll say is Northwestern will always play us tough. No matter what, they will always play us tough, especially at Northwestern. Crowds or no crowds, it doesn't matter. They always bring the fight, and they kicked our asses in every phase for an entire 4 quarters. I haven't seen crazy. That team look that bad. Graham Mertz could not have looked more mortal. They had 5 turnovers, and the defense just could not get a stop. They could not get off the field. Big play after big play. I don't really have much else to say about that. If you want to take a third thing that I'm thankful for, it's that Minnesota and Wisconsin don't have to play, as the game was ruled a no contest because Minnesota has a few tests, which you know what the Badgers have dealt with earlier. So hey, no harm, no foul.
Par for the course.
So and somehow I can't even remember what the ranking was, but they're like down to like 19 or something. You lost to 2-1, and with an embarrassing loss like that, you should be in the 20s. But whatever. So Green Bay the next day. I'm a little hungover, not feeling great. We're getting through the day. The first set of games was abysmal. Did not even have any interest. Getting all pumped and primed for the Packer game, and you know what? They come out on fire. They throw up 28 points in the first half. You're thinking, Rodgers just got started. He could have 5-6 TDs this game. Yeah. Defense, a little wary, but that 2-minute drive was the most unorganized. I've never seen any 2-minute drill more unorganized than that. Still walked away with a score right before the half. So you're feeling optimistic. The defense is doing just enough. They're getting takeaways. They're doing okay. We had a fortunate missed field goal by Blankenship in the first half. You're feeling pretty good. Colts get the ball, and I don't know. I guess that's the difference when your team's making halftime adjustments and the other one is not, right?
I think most of the games are won in that third quarter. Usually, depending on how you come out.
Packers didn't score in the third quarter. Didn't score until the very last few moments of the fourth quarter, just to toss it into OT. But I mean, there was countless mistakes between the Badgers and Packers. There was 9 turnovers by those two teams. So I mean, I don't really have a ton of expectations.
It's terrible.
And the thing is, it's like, we struggled to beat the Jags the week before, lost to Mini the week before that. So it's been a rough few weeks for Packer fans, especially with how much expectations, how high they've been so far. But I think I think there's so many issues right now because in every phase of the game, like special teams had a muff kick, even some of the punts were really close to getting blocked. Offense literally didn't score until they popped a field goal in the last few seconds. Defense was like a sieve, couldn't get off the field, couldn't get a takeaway, couldn't even get pressure on a hobbled Phillip Rivers. They were literally saying how, like, oh my gosh,
yeah, that's
like
the worst part.
He's not going to be able to, he can't move, he's hobbled, the pass rush has to get there. They did not get there. It was really, really bad. When an old
Same
quarterback,
thing on the Viking side.
When an old quarterback is hobbled in a game and you still can't get pressure on him, that's bad. And I don't know if that's scheme, if that's personnel. I don't know what that is, but that can't happen. If you want to go to the playoffs and you want to win, that can't happen.
Yep. Yeah. Well, especially when you're out to I think they had a 14-point lead at halftime. You'd think with Rodgers, with Wilson, with some of these elite players that they'd be able to hold on, but it's not. I mean, that just proves that it's not. It's three sides to the game too.
Yep.
So,
rough,
and the Vikings really was kind of a different story. Yeah, the Vikings had a little bit different story. We were battling most of the first half.
You're playing the Red Rifle, man. What did you went easy on the Red Rifle.
Well, we couldn't get pressure on him either. And they ran the ball too, which set up some play action, and he didn't really take many deep shots in the first half, Dalton, so you knew he was going to either dump it down or whatever the case may be to what's his name, to Schultz or Zeke or even Cooper, those guys. But he made some throws. He actually made some throws, and I think, I mean, you could prove it. He outperformed Cousins because at the end of the day, he led them down for the touchdown to win. After Cousins pretty much sort of did the same thing I think he hit. Thielen had 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That guy is unstoppable. But it's just like,
he's tied for Devontae for league lead now with 10.
Ooh, yeah, he's the most targeted receiver. I think he's the most targeted player when it comes to the red zone. So it makes sense that I think 3/4 of his touchdowns, or like 8 or 9 of his touchdowns, have come in the red zone too. So.
Yeah, they're all like short passes, but having that kind of weapon, that's what makes a good team a great team, because it's one thing to get in the red zone and drive it down the field, but if you can't walk away with 7 and you're settling for field goals, I mean, who cares? You're not going to win playoff games like that. And then you include
Dalvin in the picture too, who had another pretty good game, but with his short game, being able to get a couple yards, especially close to the end zone, is huge. It's I don't know, though. It's almost like a seesaw. When one game we're up, the next game we're down, and I think we still got to realize that we have such a young freaking team, especially on defense. When you're talking about our quarterbacks, how many rookies, how many injuries, and even linebackers. So we're going to have to go through this. Unfortunately, it's going to be ups and downs probably the rest of the year until they get kind of more in a comfortable cadence, especially with injuries.
Yeah, I mean, this is when your team really finds itself, right? You go through your ups, you go through your downs, and then it's like you start looking at division seeding, playoff seeding, and how things are going to pan out, and it's when things kind of change. You either figure your shit out or you lose. So
yeah,
I mean, the Packers at least have a nice homestand coming up. 2 games coming up. They have Sunday night versus the Bears. And then they, again, will be at home and they'll face the Eagles, both which their offenses are just in absolute disarray. So I can't imagine that the defense, if you're looking for a pick-me-up game and a confidence builder for your defense, those are 2 offenses you want. Wentz is leading the league in turnovers. Bears don't even know which QB is going to be on the field for game day. So, I mean, if you're looking for a pick-me-up, these are your games. And don't get me wrong, it's not like Phillip Rivers is a bad QB, but he wasn't the reason that they were winning, right? Like, that defense... Yeah. So...
Well, and the defenses are going to bring it against the Packers.
I mean...
And I think you're seeing that with the Vikings, too.
It wasn't a primetime game, but it definitely had the feel of it, because these are 2 but most likely playoff bound teams. These are two teams that are
Mm-hmm.
they still have a bit to prove in their conferences, right? Like there's a lot of question marks going around the Colts. Nobody knows if the Packers can actually put 4 quarters together against a legitimate team. So you got a lot of questions in the air, and I want to say things were a little bit clearer, but I feel like I've never been more confused. Like I didn't know my team, but we live to fight another day. Meanwhile, the New York Jets eliminated from playoff contention, so we aren't in that category. So. But yeah, and also as we said, UW and Minnesota game was canceled for this Saturday. So that's
Gophers had players either injured or on COVID last week in last week's game leading up to Purdue. So what's sad is that they haven't done anything to mitigate the spread. That's what bugs me about this game is that we already knew going into Purdue we had players either injured or on the COVID list. It was like 20, and maybe half of those in whatever the breakdown. I don't remember what the breakdown was. Point is, I don't get it. What are you doing? This is stupid. You know, this is the biggest game of the year for us, and we played like shit all year.
I don't know. It's not that big of a win if you beat us now. We're garbage.
Okay, but we get the stupid axe. You know, at least there's pride and
it's
something to hang your hat on at the end of the year. And it's like now what is this team?
I will say the axe is like the coolest thing because I remember Jess like being so confused like when they start like just hacking down the goalpost like, what are they doing? What are they doing? It's okay. It's what they do. It's tradition. Rivalry weekend. Just see the reaction though. Like people are like, why do they do that? I'm like, it's tradition. Who cares? There's a lot of weird college football stuff. Are you kidding me?
I hope they're not going to get hurt underneath that.
Hell no, Paul Bunyan, bring it down. Oh man. All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to say about our sad state of affairs, or do you want to?
It's going to improve. I mean, you play the Bears. I don't know what Rodgers' record is against them. It's good, and the Vikings play. God.
Look at
Jaguars. We get the Jaguars coming to town. If we get
maybe their first win in a while.
We didn't beat the Cowboys. Stop it. You never know. That would. Think about it. That would literally demolish our season. I'll come back this time next week. Just like, okay, well, they teased us for a little bit. Now they know.
You just be like this the whole time, or maybe you'll put like the paper bag of shame.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think it's time that we play your masterpiece, right?
Sure.
The super soundbite.
You want to? Let's do it.
Matty P. All right, so why don't you set the stage for us? Give us the.
So I took the liberty. I took the liberty of cutting up Matt Patricia's Week 11 post-game interview with his beat reporters, the Detroit beat reporters, because he basically had the same answer to almost every single question that they asked him after he literally just got shut out 20-0 their team. And I think it just sums up. I think it just sums up that team in a nutshell. So.
Yeah, and they ask. I mean, at this point in the season, with how he's handled his tenure there so far, at first when I first listened, I was like, these questions they're pretty negative. Like they're really like you can't be that direct. But I mean, he kind of has it coming. So without further ado, let's check out our boy.
Hey Matt, you've said play better, coach better. You've said that a lot. I think I asked you this a few weeks back, but I'm going to ask it again. Why at this point should people believe that you're the coach to get them to play better and coach better, considering what has been out there so far this year? Why does that keep happening? What is it about the coaching, the execution that's just not translating and hasn't translated for, most of the last couple of years? Has your confidence in yourself gotten shaken at this point?
Hey Matt, at what point do you take this personally that it's not translating you have to believe in the formula you're putting out there and it's not translating? Do you take that personally at all?
Hey Matt, you didn't really answer Mike's question about why people should still believe in you as head coach. So let me ask it a different way. How safe do you feel in your job as head coach right now? Do you think on that regard, do you think you've earned the right to continue coaching this team?
What makes you think this can work here now for you with this team, with Bob Quinn, with everything that's going on? That record, nothing would seem to give any indication it can work here? What gives you hope that it can?
I mean, Bob, honestly, for me, I just grind it out every week. But I mean, like, that's just really what it is. There's nothing more than that. We got to go to work. We got to do better. I mean, the locker room is great. They want to work. They want to try to win. We want to try to win. We're trying to win. And, we got to do better. We didn't play well enough today. That's the bottom line.
All right. I cut a little short at the end. I got a little click happy, but you get the gist. Man, I mean,
it's just more context. I didn't want to have anything related to us, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just go across the pond.
You know what? That's the thing. When we've had a rough week, we get a little downtrodden. It's always nice to laugh at the Lions, right? I mean, it's no matter how our seasons are going, you can always laugh at the Lions. That's the best part of being in NFC North. The Bears might be good, the Packers might be good, the Vikings might be good, but the Lions are always pretty much in the cellar. No offense, Lions fans. I did want to correct myself. We don't have a statistician on staff, but I did check myself before I wrecked myself. The Badgers are ranked 16th, which is even more absurd. Northwestern moves up to the A spot, but their next scheduled game as it stands right meow is December 5th, and Indiana comes to Camp Randall. So they get a little bit of time to figure out what the F happened on Saturday, and then see if they can maybe not have 5 turnovers against, a nationally ranked team in our division. So, we'll see. Don't have a lot of expectations for that one, being completely honest. All right. Thank you so much for your dedication and your hard work and your amazing video editing skills. Just want to give you a quick round of applause. All right, so this was your TF topic, so I'm going to let you set it up. You said coaching decision, who's on the hot seat, so I'm assuming you have some ideas because I didn't really prepare, so why don't you give me something to work with?
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if due to time you just wanted to nix this all together.
Oh, no, we're in, baby.
Quick 6, but if you want to...
No, we'll make it quick. Who do you got? Give me your hot seat. Let's go.
I mean, so it leads, number one, with the fact that 3 or 4 weeks ago, you could say that everyone in our division, sans LaFleur, was probably on the hot seat. Or Zimmer was. I would say now at this point he's not, but look at the other two. Those guys are going to be gone, Gaze and Patricia, most likely at the end of the year. So
they invested so much into Patricia. They invested so much into him, and they brought like 5 expats over, like, and like other Pats personnel. Yes. Like it was basically New England West for a little bit. Like now we have New England South and Tampa, but now like
what about Tennessee? Midwest is Tennessee with Vrabel. You get.
But like they didn't have like a former player who was retired and like eventually got into coaching. They literally took a staffer and players that were on the active roster and like, okay, go to Detroit and figure it out. So I mean he's had his chance. I don't know, but Nagy's in a world of pain right now too. Starting off with the record that we both talked about they didn't deserve.
And I think ultimately, so where I kind of wanted to go with all this is like a lot of times you can blame it on the coaches, but is something like Nagy, or I said Gaze, I meant Nagy, but you know what, Gaze is gone.
Also not in a great spot.
But like, is part of that the GM spot? Like, how much do you blame on the GM picking Trubisky or the GM picking, what's the guy's Jets, Darnold? Like how much of that is their fault? And then after like some time, the coaches realize, oh God, these guys aren't gonna fit no matter what we do.
I mean, Trubs feels like a Jordan Love type of pick. Like I'll pick on our front office because I don't give a shit. But I mean, I feel like if you have a player who's there's no doubt in anybody's mind, like both of those picks, those were reaches, right? Like, there's nobody that else 100%. That had them on there for first round. We're picking this guy, or we're trading up to get this guy, and we're going to get him, and our franchise is going to be great. When you grab Trubs, like, over... should we remind everybody, just in case you haven't heard it a billion times? Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. Don't get me wrong, I know the Texans aren't doing great, but Deshaun Watson is not the reason why they're doing poorly. But like you grab Trubs and it's like, you know what, the thing is like you invested all that draft capital into him, the money into it, you gotta let him play. He plays okay, then he has a huge regression, and then this year he's doing okay, he's 3-0, then they bench him for Foles. So I mean I don't know if they've necessarily thrown out the towel, but I know that Nagy's play calling has gotten a lot more. I mean, David Montgomery didn't even get to start. Like they were bringing up people from like the third and practice one. Like the guy, you pick the guy, you know he's talented. Yep. He can catch the ball too. You have Tariq Cohen in there. You're not going to have him be a 2-down back. So just some questionable decisions. I feel like you have to you give the draft pick 2 to 3 years, right? Like you can't when you pick especially like a skill position or like
does that vary by position? I feel like with a quarterback, usually you get the benefit of the doubt, but because it's maybe the most important position.
That's kind of what I was going to say about Darnold. Like you can't necessarily say Darnold's a bad pick. You can't say Darnold's a bad QB really because he hasn't really had anything around him. Like I can go up to probably 80% of football fans and they won't be able to name more than 2 people on the Jets offense, if that. They'll probably think that Bell's still on there. Like it's very hard to judge the quarterback position when you like Joey Burrow. Like the dude was balling out and he had a terrible. That is a whole nother thing too. But like that's not on him. Like that offensive line would have killed anybody. You know, same thing with Washington. Like you're watching QBs die back there, and it's like, oh, Alex Smith, you crazy SOB. Like it's hard to judge them based on that kind of criteria because it's not really a fair assessment. You know.
I think and you're probably getting at a good theme is that these teams are probably low ranked in offensive line.
Oh yeah.
Like overall rankings, just given because I mean the Vikings, as good as the Bears front line is on the defensive side, we destroyed their offensive line, our defense, and we got Everson Griffin gone. I don't even want to begin to name the guys that are out, but we made their
because you can't pronounce them
like
or you don't remember or
Danielle Hunter, Linval Joseph,
Danielle Hunter, sure.
Danielle, I don't know, whatever.
No, you got it. So yeah, that's a whole nother enchilada. I mean, we can make a whole tee-off topic just about that too, because I mean, you put Darnold on like an actual competitive team. You put him on in like the Chiefs system with that offensive line and those weapons. Who knows? Don't be wrong. Like there's been times where he's just looked like garbage, but I mean, Rodgers has looked like trash a couple times. You know, Cousins obviously has too. So you can relate to the fact that, you know what, maybe not everyone has a good day, but I mean, it's been around for 3 years now. And Flacco's not doing horrible. So, I mean, maybe you could reverse that argument a little bit. I don't know, but I mean, Flacco's got so many years of experience on Darnold, though. Like, but I think it's a combination. I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's a combination of everything, really.
Who do you think's gone first of any? Do you think they let a lot of these guys kind of hang toward the end? It's funny how like this didn't really seem to be much of a topic until social media came around, where now you're getting a lot more.
Well, that's just because you can have more access to like coaching prospects. Like anytime anything leaks, all of a sudden it's like, well, I mean, because unless you're listening to a lot of sports podcasts, you're not going to know the coaches aren't even thinking about looking. You know, like Field Yates was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was even talking about maybe Harbaugh from Michigan's gone, and maybe people look at him because he had so much success with the Niners. You have like these coaches and like even like assistant coaches. They're like, maybe they're pretty happy. Maybe someone else has heard differently, you know. So like coordinators that are up and coming, like that kind of thing. Or basically anyone that Sean McVay's even had coffee with at once because they're a prodigy and they have to get a head coaching job. Matt LaFleur.
Nagy. Gaze. I think one of them came through.
Yeah, it's like Gase is either a genius or a moron, depending on who you talk to or what year it is. But that you think
what year?
Well, because that's the thing. Why do you think he got 2 head coaching jobs back to back? Like he like really impressed, and it's like, nah, this guy's an idiot. Get rid of him. We'll take him. This guy's an idiot. But like, if you want to think of like the most thankless position, I think it's coach and then kicker. Because it's literally like McCarthy. They literally led the Packers like to the playoffs over and over and over, won them a Super Bowl, kept them competitive, and everyone still wanted his ass out. You know, oh my gosh, Gostowski, who he's playing for the Titans now. He missed 6? He missed 5 field goals and like an extra point all in one game. Like, but he ended up kicking the game winner. So it's just like you have all of this instant gratification of when you do something well, and even if you had an MVP, Hall of Fame, amazing career, you miss a couple field goals in the playoffs, you're the worst kicker of all
Nobody
time.
remember. Yeah, nobody
No,
remembers
it's
that.
terrible. I feel like coaches like we're literally talking like this is your tee off topic because you're complaining about bad coaching. Like you would not do that about like a linebacker on the hot seat or a running back. Like it's coaches because they get the blame. Am I wrong?
No, yeah.
It's a thankless.
Could you
effing
imagine?
job.
Yeah, could you imagine just condemning like a whole offensive line? Well, I guess we give them crap. but
Offensive
it's not
tackles on the brink of. No, that's.
really- Yeah. By the way, did you hear the way McCarthy got the team riled up on Saturday to go out and fight those Vikings Gallagher style?
You know,
Isn't that-
I
don't you
did.
think
I
that
don't know if
the
there's
back-
any video, but just seeing McCarthy's walrus body just swinging a sledgehammer, that ain't for me, honestly. Like, hey, good for him. You beat the Vikes. I'm happy for it. It helps our division chances, but all in all, that's I don't need to see that, bro. I'm good. I live in Wisconsin. I see enough chubby dudes struggling to do athletic stuff, so.
Oh god.
All right.
Sleep.
We were talking about having this be a short holiday episode, but here we are, half hour later. Thank you to everyone who's
Right.
actually still hanging around, but we will expedite this whole show and we will get to Ace's Quick Six. Take it away.
Didn't mean to throw the tongue out there. All right. Dating back to last week. Last week was a push 3-3, and I got lucky with that
I still
39.5 over. And I kind of effed you up because I had told you that it was at Dallas when in fact it was a home game for the Vikings.
Yeah, we found that out after the fact, but it's fine.
So it's 18-17 with that one tie, of course, leading back to the first week. So this week we got Packers, Bears. Of course. Jay goes first, Johnny. First one, Green Bay, total touchdowns, over under 3.5. I like this one at 3.5 this week.
3.5 is fair, especially since it's at Green Bay. For whatever reason, the offense has issues. Your fingers look nice, by the way. Thank you. Get in there. We have an impromptu setup here, so Ace is doing his best. You sound great. You look fantastic. The Ray shirt's going to confuse most people, but it's cool that it's autographed. I'll take the over on that one.
The over? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, most people don't even know where the heck this team is or what
Tampa
this
Bay.
is baseball.
Tampa
Baseball. Yeah. All right. Next one. Aaron, Bears total field goals over under 1.5.
Oh.
I'm going to go over. That. I mean, I could be wrong, but if I'm going to be wrong, I'll whatever.
Never
That
been
just
wrong.
seems like Packers are notorious for that, letting them march down the field and then holding them. Johnny, both teams over 19.5. Last week I had this for the
Oh, that
Vikings,
Bears offense is
how-
in such disarray, but our defense is literally a sieve. No, I
Under?
can't. Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's
can't.
fair.
I can't.
All right, there wasn't a lot of prop bets, so I had to go with this one. It's defensive or special teams touchdowns. I'm gonna go yes. Screw it. I don't know.
Patterson
why, but I'm just
again.
gonna
Why
go
not?
yes. I might. Does it say? Oh no, it's touchdown. I thought I meant like a safety would come. I should have said any defensive or special teams.
You can
score.
switch it. Go for it.
We'll do that. So any defensive or special team score, we'll do that. That kind of 50-50s it out. All right. You got this one last week. I might trip you up though. The first score of the game is going to be a touchdown. Is that true or false this week?
Yeah, if LaFleur can't fire up the offense, that's what they're good for. They always score on the opening drive, aside from 1 game. So no, the Colts made him go 3-0. I think. I don't know. After they broke the streak, I lost interest. But they're very proficient at scoring in the red zone, but they're very proficient at scoring to open drives. So if LaFleur's gonna hope to save some face for last week, I think they got to come out really strong against the Bears. So yeah, DD.
I like it. And you know what? Because I don't think a lot of people. So this one is who wins, big or little. So it's Green Bay 1 through 13 or 13 plus, and the Bears 1 to 13 or 13 plus. You might be shocked, but I'm taking GB 13 plus. I know a lot of people think this is going to be close, but I mean, and that defense, sure, but I think they get a sneaky touchdown at the end. God, can I talk? That throws it over about 14-15. I think they win by that much.
I like your faith. You're like a secondary Packers fan. You're like a closet Packers fan. That's fine. No one judges you. It's fine.
Why did I?
Cool.
Yeah, no shit. I had to go to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
That was yeah.
Nice. All right, lock it in. And I think we found out what your punishment is going to be when you inevitably lose. And then I think once the football season, I got a nice little, maybe something else we could throw in to change
Wait,
it up.
you have an idea?
I always have ideas, boss. Come on now. But we got to get these folks home. Hopefully, maybe they got a little bit of entertainment from a drive up to their folks for the
Perfect.
holidays. But yeah, so much for the short show. Whoopsies.
This is fun though, regardless.
It is. It's always fun, and we appreciate everybody for listening as per always. It's great to be able to do this just for fun, but it's nice to see the good feedback, see the show picking up a little bit, and you know, if you haven't already, we've already done a couple collabs with other shows that have always been a great time. We're hoping to do a couple more. Holidays kind of interferes with that, but we got a couple more things on the back burner. Got a website we're gonna be hopefully cracking down, buying the domain. Nobody take anything fun for us. But yeah, we got some fun things coming up.
I think everything goes. We might. I told him let's reach out around playoff time and touch base.
When
again.
Dallas wins the East,
Cowboys.
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, when the Cowboys win the East.
He was messaging me a little bit too. Alrighty, so thank you guys again for listening. If you're not already, please check us out on Twitter at a podcast, every single platform for podcasts. Check us out, rate us, share us, subscribe, whatever the hell you can do. Tell a parent while you're visiting with them for Thanksgiving. We always appreciate it. We're building up the AA podcast.
It's a great time to build a network too. Yeah,
it is because everyone's at
time.
home. Oh yeah, family. Ooh, baby. Who doesn't want to share a nice podcast they like over some apple pie, huh? when am I going to be more receptive to something when I'm full and complacent? Come on. Also, again, if you're not already, if you have the ability to, or you enjoy watching video, we are on YouTube now. All our episodes. And now we got like this cute little turkey here. Look at him. Look at this little guy. Here we see him. Hey, turkey. We're so festive. But again, thanks everybody for listening. Hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving from our houses to yours. Stay safe. It is snowing too, so drive safe. Be healthy. Don't socially distance from the turkey. Get all up in that, but.
And we're out.
And we are out.